The subject is, what is this Atman? The conventional meaning of Atman is that it is an individual soul. Acharya Shankara explains the word as derived in the sense of comprehending, engulfing, or pervading, and says that it signifies one that is the highest, omniscient, omnipotent, and transcendental to all worldly attributes such as hunger, thirst, and the like, and is by its very nature eternal, pure, conscious, free, birthless, undecaying, immortal, fearless, and without a second. Such attributes are given to that infinite being to help meditation by the aspirants. Now, what is the relevance of this? Relevance of talking about Atman. So to explain or highlight the relevance, one has to necessarily speak, elaborate, expand, explain what will happen by accepting the concept Atman. What capacities would one discover when one is faced with perpetual limitations, conditionings, ignorances of various kinds, doubts, fears. So on one hand, one is in such a scenario by confining to the definition of oneself as centered on a personality. The alternate question is, or the two proposition to the question, who am I? The first proposition is, I am a human being with a body, mind, personality. The other proposition is, I am the Atman who is all this. Now, one is supposed to have dealt with the first proposed definition of or the answer to who am I as a body, mind, personality, and by imagining or believing oneself to be a body, mind, personality, one has undergone something called living a life. One has led a life based on a body, mind, personality comprehension, and it has given us some experiences. It has unfolded some dimensions, but too few of us, some of us, that unfoldment is now appearing to be incomplete, partial, unfulfilling, and one is ready to explore by first admitting that the first answer to who am I am a body, mind, personality, that answer may be is not the right answer. This should be the background in the mind of a sadhak. Let me think something else. Let me imagine myself to be something more than a body, mind, personality. This desire should come. That will come only if somebody has faced the limitations which are natural to a body, mind, personality. One has limited physical capacities, one has limited mental capacities, one has limited understandings, one faces challenges, but one is not able to overcome many or most of the challenges. One feels let down. One feels helpless. As a body, mind, personality, you have no control of weather, on seasons, on gravity, on birth, growth, death. Even any of the handicaps, it may be a economic handicap, social handicap, religious handicap. Many of those one has no control if one imagines oneself to be a body, mind, personality. This backdrop has to be kept in one's awareness, and one has to honestly admit. And then one should be bold enough. Question: is there something wrong in my understanding about myself? Have I wrongly imagined myself to be a body, mind, personality? One should constantly ratiocinate. And one would then come across the other line of thinking, the declaration of the scripture that you are Atman. And then one should accept this proposition of the scriptures, of the teachers, of the rishis, of the sages. Start walking on the faith that maybe, yes, I'm not just a body, mind, personality, I am Atman. When scriptures are saying, when sages are saying, when rishis are saying, when all great men throughout the history, when they're saying that you are Atman, maybe I am Atman. Then a further question would come. What else do these scriptures say about the Atman? What is the description of the Atman? What are the features of the Atman? If I am the Atman, I should know. Maybe I am not focused on those subtle potentials. I've always believed that a Body has this potential, mind has this potential, understanding has this potential, and I have tried to harness, nurture those potentials, and I reach a dead end. But when now I am walking on the path on the other suggestion of the scripture that I am the Atman, then what do the scriptures say about the Atman? What are the potentials of the Atman, which then would have to be harnessed? And the scripture says, you are as Atman, you are eternal. So my first problem, which was there when I was imagining myself to be a body, mind, personality, was the fear of death. That there is an end to me. I am going to end. And I do not know when. So there is always a lurking thought that my end may come. My end may come anytime. And now, when scriptures say you are the Atman, then that Atman is eternal. Eternal means forever. So no end is ever going to happen to the Atman, which is my nature, which I am now, if I have faith that I am the Atman. As Atman, I'm going to be forever. A big fear is now gone, should go. It is the biggest gain. Second, Atman is pure. As body mind, body is always with dirt. Body is full of excretions, urine, stool, nasal discharge, discharge from the eyes, sweat from the skin. These are part of the body. Never ever is body free of waste products. Waste products are part of the body. And the mind always have temptations, jealousies, unfulfilled desires. These are impurities in the mind. So there are impurities in the body, there are impurities in the mind, and there is an impurity in the understanding, in the sense that no understanding is so full of conviction that it is always right. On the contrary, the understanding always has a doubt that maybe I have not understood fully. Maybe what I have understood is not applicable. Maybe there is some other point of view which I cannot reckon. So body has impurity, mind has impurity, understanding has impurity, if one imagines oneself to be a body, mind, personality. As opposed to this, if you have faith that you are the Atman, first gain is that you know you are eternal, you're not going to die. Second, you are ever pure. There are no excretions in the Atman. There are no doubts and fears in the Atman. There is no wrong or incomplete understanding in the Atman. Atman is pure consciousness. And what is this third? That is consciousness. Consciousness means awareness. It is aware. It is aware that it is the Atman. Whereas as body, you are never aware what kind of body you are. There may be cancer sitting in some organ of the body, and this so-called the one who identifies with the body, who calls his body his own, he is not even aware that he has a cancer inside one of the parts of the body. So he is unaware. As body, you are unaware. Similarly, you do not know about your mind what would happen. After long preparation for the Mahabharata war, after the choice that was given to him by Lord Krishna, on one hand is my army, on the other is me. Who do you choose? Duryodhana chose the army and Arjuna chose Lord Krishna. This is all preparation for the Mahabharata war. So Arjuna was preparing for the Mahabharata war. And being the chief, he had to lead from the front. So he was using his mind that I have to take Lord Krishna, prepare myself, come in the front, and then fight. But what happened? When he went to the battlefield, he falls at the feet of Lord Krishna and says, I will not fight. So Arjuna did not know his mind. On one hand, he is preparing for the war, and when actual war is to take place, he says, I will not fight. Such is the mind of Arjuna, one of the greatest warriors. Had in his life Lord Krishna by his side. Such is the fate of mind-centered personality. Understanding. Dharam Raja Yudhishthira is a Dharam Raja. He sits for the gambling session and he is ready to part his wife and his kingdom in a session of gambling. He loses both. This is the understanding of Dharam Raja. Body, mind, personality of Dharam Raja Yudhishthira. Body, mind, personality of Arjuna, the greatest warrior. It's all there for us. Eye-opener. Nobody can work oneself to become greater than Arjuna as a warrior or greater than Yudhishthira in terms of understanding. Understand Dharma means understands everything. And this is what they do. So this is they are not aware about their own body and about their own mind and about their own understanding. They're not aware what their understanding would do in a gambling session, what the understanding would do in the battlefield. They do not know. They're not aware. As opposed to this, the one who believes, who has faith that he is the Atman, the scripture says that Atman is always conscious, greater than Yudhishthira, greater than Arjuna. Atman is aware that it is Atman. It is the greatest achievement, to be aware who you are. That is the first thing. Whereas as a body mind, one can never be aware who one is, what is going to happen to the body, to the mind, to the understanding.